Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to create a custom yard sign for a listing. Um, these are, when you get these signs created, if you've been around me, you've probably seen an example of these signs in my office. You can get the sign made to where, for instance, this one right here that's showing on the screen, you can have these photos showing on both sides. Excuse my cats that are fighting with each other. These photos can be showing on both sides of the sign. If you want, you can showcase, you can have the front of the sign with these photos and the back of the sign with these photos. And when you get it printed at Fast Signs, it's no extra fee. It's the exact same price, whichever way you want to do it. So I'm going to show you guys how to prepare your folders on your computer with these photos so you can easily access them moving forward when we go to resize them and stuff. So this, if you just want to do the same photos on the front and back, sometimes that'll happen if it's a small property and you don't have as many photos, or maybe it's a property where there aren't, the inside of the home is not very aesthetically pleasing, then you probably don't want 10 photos of an ugly house on this yard sign. But obviously for this home, we had tons of beautiful photos. So I wanted to show as much of the house as possible. So we've got 5 photos on the back and 5 different ones on the front. So whenever I go to create folders for these, I'm going to go where I personally keep my properties. I have a folder called Properties and Clients, and inside of here I've got all of my clients and active properties. A lot of these clients, they're selling and buying, or we're doing multiple transactions for them. So within their folder we've got multiple addresses. But for the example of this video, we're going to use 5923 Quiet Point. Whenever a photographer or company does professional photos for your listing, they're going to always send you 2 sets of photos. The first set is high resolution, and these are large photos that you can use to print on marketing materials, and they're going to look really good. The small ones are for anything on the web, right? Like Facebook ads, the MLS, things like that. So whenever we're printing on this sign, we need to use the high resolution photos. So you're going to find the folder that has the high resolution photos, and in it you're going to right click and you are going to create a new folder called Custom Yard Sign. And you can go ahead and put the address in there just to make sure that it never gets mixed up with anything else. So now we've got a folder where we're going to copy and paste photos. We want to always make sure that these beautiful photos that you paid a pretty penny for, we don't want them to accidentally get deleted or permanently altered. So you want to make sure you always keep the original files. So in order to do that, instead of dragging and dropping them, we're going to copy and paste them into this folder. But before we do that, we're going to open this folder. If you are opting to do 5 photos on the front and 5 different photos on the back, then here is where you are going to create another folder, and you're going to put back photos and then do a folder called front photos. So now you're going to go back to the photos, and okay, so now I'm going to assume that previously you've gone through all of these photos and you've decided which 5 you want on the front and which 5 you want on the back. So we are going to, now we're going to select the 5 photos for the front of the sign. So we want to do this one. You just hold down Control, you click your first photo, you left click the first photo 1 time, you hold down Control, and then you select the next. You select all 5 photos that you want on the sign, we're going to right click, we're going to copy. Now you're going to go into the custom yard sign folder, go to your front photos, and we're going to right click and paste these photos here. So now we know exactly which 5 photos we want on the front of the sign. Then you're going to go back and you're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab the photos for the back of the sign, same thing. I want to highlight the lot, the backyard, and the exterior for this. And we're going to right click, copy, go in here, and then we're going to copy and paste those into photos for the back of the sign. So now you have officially selected your photos that are going to go on the sign, and they are organized in their designated folders.